Hey everybody, it's Wahome from Wahome Gitonga Coaching. Hope you're all having an amazing week so far. Welcome to another episode of Business Conversation Interviews, where we interview the most successful people from across various industries, from coaches to business owners to entrepreneurs, authors, and various other successful people. So today I'm delighted to have the pleasure of interviewing world-renowned international speaker and elite coach, Nerea Carrion. And Nerea has helped hundreds of thousands of people around the world globally to master their self-confidence, to live a life based around authenticity and being heart-centered. And she's going to be calling in today from Thailand to share her wisdom over things such as confidence, mindset, and how to have more happiness and authenticity in your life. So, today's going to be a great chance for you to ask also Nerea any questions that you have around confidence or mindset, or just raise any problems that you're experiencing, and you can put that forward in a question and we will ask Nerea so she can answer your questions. So, it's good to see everyone. Hey, morning everyone. Hey Jafran, hey Narakesh, Nirv, hey Digital, good to see you all. Okay, just waiting for Nerea to join and then we should be able to start. Hey, everyone's doing okay? It's good to see everyone. Just wait for Nerea and then we will start shortly. Hey Suraj. Hey Venik. Just waiting for our guest speaker to arrive and then we'll be able to start the interview. Hey Venk, glad you follow my post and you like the content. Nerea's here. Okay, let me add Nerea. Morning, Nerea. Good to see you.
Hello, good to
Hi.
see you.
Pleasure to have you on the call.
Yeah.
So
Nice to
yeah,
see you.
so thank you for taking your time out in your busy schedule in Thailand to be on this interview. So the first question we'll start off with is, tell us about yourself. What is your background and how did you decide to get into your business?
Well, I'm actually an economist. I studied economics and I
Mm,
worked in finance. But since I was 19, I was always interested in my own personal development because of my shyness and insecurities. And I felt very limited in my own bubble, like very scared of the world and life. And I started to absorb these books and conferences just for me. And and then when I was in finance, I realized how my best moments were when I was with my clients having dinner and coaching them unconsciously. They didn't know I was coaching them, but I got so bored in finance that I just needed to talk about something meaningful. So I will ask them for their life challenges, relationship challenges, work challenges, and then they started to share with me a lot. And then
mm,
I was doing the questions that these books did to myself. And then I was like, wow, this is fun. I'm loving this. And then I asked them for feedback, like, how did you like our conversation? Like, what did you feel and experience? And then they all told me, wow, it's so easy to open up with you. I feel like you're helping me to understand myself better and to be more aware of what's going on in my life. And I think that was what clicked like in me. I was like, oh my God, so can I do this professionally? Like I started to ask myself that because of their comments, and also many friends is calling me to like cry on my shoulder and like, tell me their stories. So I guess like it was a very natural move for me to start coaching and to start helping people. because I was doing it anyway. But then is when I asked myself, okay, I'm bored in finance. Can I do this professionally? And of course, I always say yes to myself. So I say yes. And then that's when I kind of, before coaching, I started other businesses. So I opened like 3 different businesses, a food business, a tourist business, and a website business. And I closed them because I felt like, so I quit my job in finance, I built the businesses, then I realized that it was still not my passion. Like I still was holding back with coaching because I was like afraid and thinking, oh, maybe I'm not good enough yet. So I was kind of like distracting myself doing other businesses. And then after the 3rd business that I closed, I was like, all right, I'm going to focus on what I really love and what it's really in my heart, like coming from my deepest self. And that's when I said coaching the Happy World Company, and I started these different projects, Smiles for the World. And then I felt like in heaven, and I was like, yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. So yeah, I was more or
So
less that's yeah.
So what was the idea behind your business, the Happy World Company, then?
The idea was to have an international training business that trains people in a very genuine, authentic, innovative way. So for me, coaching, it's about combining different arts, different tools. So, I mean, at the beginning, I was teaching neuro-linguistic programming, public speaking, but then I always felt I was doing this social freedom, photo shoots and self-esteem, so combining photography with coaching. So that's what I wanted to bring in the Happy World, just like an authentic, from the heart way of teaching that it's creative as well. So it's not just like, okay, I'm just gonna follow ABC, the coaching skills that I've learned, but no, I'm going to be innovative with my training. So all the trainers that I was working with, they were bringing art like painting or cooking, or they were bringing photography, whatever. So that was really like, yeah, that was really what I wanted what I created when I was doing it, because it happened and it was like, wow. But yeah, ultimately it's to bring people back to the heart, and it's still the same, like nothing has changed. It's just a basic thing.
So the Happy World has like skyrocketed as a company, but what was the biggest challenge you personally faced when you first started, and how did you overcome it?
Yeah. Wow. The team, I think. Yeah. Definitely the team. Like how to have how to keep the team motivated, how to keep them, happy financially and happy in the workplace, how to, keep them engaged and still help them to be aligned with their own lives. So, because I was coaching my team, maybe they will realize that they want to travel and they will leave. So suddenly I have like a really good trained team, but suddenly they realize that the dream is in Australia, and they go to Australia, and then I don't have a team anymore, and I'm like, shit. So like, that was the challenge, because my heart really wanted to give them the space to be real, to be honest, to be authentic. And then by me giving them the tools to be authentic, they will love the business and they will still support the business from anywhere in the world. But to have the team in London and like establish there was so challenging, because people was just realizing during the coaching sessions that they wanted to create some crazy shit around the world, and then they will just go and do it because I'll give them the tools to be courageous and to be motivated. So it was like, oh my God, how am I gonna keep the team here and also let them free, like, give them freedom. So I think that was a bit challenging for sure. Yeah, big time.
And so you've been a massive success. What do you think is your unique skill that's allowed you to become so successful?
What is my skill?
Unique skill that allowed you to become so
Oh,
successful.
unique skill,
Yeah.
love.
Definitely.
That's it. It's love. Yeah. I
As in
love,
love,
I love, I
as
love,
in,
I love you. I love,
I
I
guess, yeah, that's
love
quite,
N underscore V18. I love Brachme. I love every fucking human being and
uh,
tree and animal in the
yeah, I
world.
guess that's quite infectious. Like,
Yeah.
especially in terms of like showing people that you care and that you have
Mm.
empathy for them.
Yeah, I mean, I think love, when people feel your love, it's much easier for them to trust you and for them to give you money. And it's that simple, but we miss it out sometimes in business. We don't actually put it into practice. So, but I mean, so maybe a little more practically speaking, not so abstract. I could say that my skill is communication. Like I communicate in such a way that people, first of all, they understand me and they somehow get reprogrammed. I think because I
Mm.
use a lot of NLP, so I feel like I can influence people in a very positive way unconsciously. So this, maybe I have a little hypnotic communication style, and I think that get people doing good shit, and it's incredible. So yeah.
So you've created a successful business yourself. So what advice would you give people who are, thinking of creating a business, but they're just too scared to make that first step?
Hmm. Well, of course, feel the fear and do it anyway, which we
Yeah.
have all heard, but still not doing it. And don't rush it also, because I was rushing and that was my mistake. If I had stop and breathe and meditate before I do anything, it would
Mm.
have been much smooth. Like now it's way more smooth. Everything is just like, okay, here this, here this client, here that, and things just like, it's like slow down to speed up, slow down so that things get done, but not like, oh my God, I have to do it.
Mm.
Ah. And we get into this rush of like, I'm going to die tomorrow. And actually, that's my biggest mistake. When I do that, I always make mistakes. I always make mistakes. So I hurt myself, I have a bike accident or whatever. When I rush it, it just doesn't work. So.
I think that's true. I think a lot of people are after overnight success, but they think they'll be successful in 2 to 3 months or become a millionaire overnight, and it takes
Exactly.
time.
Yeah, it takes
Um,
time, and just don't give up. If you, of course, if you want quick results and you want to be successful tomorrow, I think it's like you probably are not so passionate about it. Because when you're really passionate about something, you know you will keep going no matter what. It doesn't matter how long it takes you, you keep going, and things start working at some point, they will start working for you.
mm, totally agree with
Yes, any
that.
question for me, let me know.
Totally agree with that. So what's the most common reasons why people come to you for coaching, and how can you help people
What is the main reason why people, what?
come to you for coaching, and how can
Ah,
you help people?
well, self-esteem is a big one. Um, and alignment. So people they know they want to do something in life, but they really don't have the courage or like the tools to do it. But I think it's mainly people who is already very aware,
Mm.
and it's like they know that there is more from life. There is more authenticity, more being real, more openness. They want to
Mm.
experience love more. They want to experience it, feel it inside. And they don't know how to open the heart. They don't know how to, I mean, they know, but maybe not to the level they want to. So usually the last clients I am having now, they already very aware people. They already have done so much work, but they are just in this like, they just need the last push kind of thing.
Mm.
So I would say self-esteem, confidence, uh, and And now I could say love and intimacy is starting to be a very big part in my coaching sessions and energy work, body work. So it's transitioning now. Like when we met, I was doing communication, social skills, NLP. Now all of this is being integrated into love and relationships, sex, intimacy. So it's transitioning slowly. I haven't totally like been out there, but it's actually moving into a much more intimate space and trauma release. And so it's changing. But I would say the core is self-esteem. The core is healing your body, healing yourself. And if you see my social media or you see my stuff, it's all about being real, being honest, no bullshit, just completely honest. And I love that. So if anybody feel like you want to be real, no more bullshit, no more pretending, no more faking in social media, in your house, with your friends, with your boss, then this is where you want to come, basically, to really, do it. But it's very scary. So it's only people who is really courageous will call me to actually get coaching from me, because it can be scary, even though I'm very sensitive and delicate and I know how to step by step do it. But it takes courage, because it means your life is going to change. It's going to be fucking incredible. So if you're not ready for that, you won't come to me. That's it. It's just like...
I think obviously the
I'm not
hardest
ready
thing
for an incredible life.
I think people get either scared of that changes or having to really face themselves. I think that's the hardest
They
things.
don't either they don't trust that you can help, or they're not ready. It's either they don't understand the value of it or how you can help, or they're not ready. Like, that's what the two big things. Then the excuse of no money, the excuse of I don't have time, is bullshit. This is not really what people is about. Like, I don't think, of course there is cases, different cases, but if you really understand the value and you're ready, you will find a way. That's it. There's no,
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. So, in a recent survey of 9,000 workers across various industries in the UK, a survey by a UK workplace found that 7% of women suffer from lack of confidence and 60% of men suffer from lack of confidence. In your opinion, why do you feel that so many people are suffering from a lack of confidence?
How much percentage you said?
60% for men lack confidence in their workplace, and 70% of women lack confidence.
Yeah. Why? Because I think we've never been fully accepted as we are. Like, nobody in our house or school said, you're fine just the way you are. Nobody fucking said that until I met Sam, right? It's like... So it's like, we just need to be told, like, it's okay to be just as you are. You don't have to change or fix anything. And when you can deeply, deeply accept that about you, with all the good and the bad and all the things that you are and that all the things that you're not, your self-esteem just rocks. It's like, there's no more doubting. One thing is confidence, right? Like, how confident I am. I can help people to pretend to be confident very easy, But to actually feel it from within, it's a completely different story. There's so much there inside of your body that hasn't been released or expressed. So when you start expressing and releasing all of that, and accept it, it's like you don't need to be confident to actually feel self-esteem. It's like there is a big difference. Before I was teaching confidence, now I say self-esteem, because I understand that being confident, it can be very easy for many people. Some people say, yeah, but I'm very confident. Okay, but if I put you in this scenario, are you still confident? Well, maybe they're not. Okay, so what about this scenario, And there is many scenarios where we really like close, but it's because we don't have a good base inside of acceptance that even if I'm being shy and insecure, it's okay. So once you actually accept that being insecure and being low on self-esteem, your self-esteem just goes up because you accept it. So it's just working from that place of acceptance. And yeah, nobody ever told me you are just perfect the way you are. Like, fuck, thank you, you know, like, for telling me, whoever told me this, and other people for sure. But that, I mean, that's what comes up now. I'm sure there's many other reasons. But I think the main one is we don't accept ourselves. We don't really appreciate what we are. We just want to fix and change things about ourselves all the time. And that's not self-esteem.
I totally agree with you, and I think it's hard as well because in society we're told you have to act in a certain way to be a man or woman. You got to look a certain way. You know, if you're not the CK model or the cat up lady model, then you're not seen as the perfect woman or the perfect man. And so we live up to these standards that we hold ourselves to celebrities and famous people, and then we make ourselves feel like that we're not worthy because we don't look like them.
Yeah.
So I definitely
And
feel
the
like
amount of people I coach that are like super successful, are way more successful than me, by the way, like top models, people who is already like making a good living, they are so unhappy because they live in a world that it's basically a pretending world. That when I was in finance, it's fake, it's bullshit. Nobody is saying the truth. Nobody is actually saying, I hate this job. And if they say it somewhere where nobody hear them. So it's like, it's so meaningless, you know, the world is just so meaningless. If you look around, I'm like, come on, it's like, fuck. And it's sad. Like, I rather 100 million times not to be successful, but actually feel good with myself daily, because that's ultimately what I've got. I will die, and unless I've done that, I've wasted my fucking life doing something that is not meaningful for me. So that's just radical me being honest. And of course, this is my opinion, and it has nothing to do with everybody else's opinion. But yeah, big time. I don't believe in success just for the sake of being successful. It's just boring. So, you get stuck in such a place of having to work super hard in something you don't give a fuck. Come on, like, please.
yeah,
Like, you know, so please.
yeah, I totally agree with you there. So in your company,
Yeah.
the Happy World, you helped hundreds of thousands of people worldwide to master their
Yes.
confidence and live a heart-centered life. So what advice would you give someone? I know you mentioned this before, but what advice would you give someone who is suffering from low self-esteem and looking right now to overcome this?
Mm. That's a big question. Of course, I will have to check into each person separately, but let me see if I can give a generic kind of advice. Someone with low self-esteem and who would like to feel more confident. Definitely, can you accept that fully? Have you accepted the fact that you are? And when you accept it, it comes with a lot of sadness, maybe a lot of fear. Have you experienced those emotions? So that's one thing, just to start with. And then I will say, write down all of the things why you think you are low in self-esteem or not so confident, and go through them, feel into it, feel the emotion that is there, feel it, let it flow, and after, ask yourself again if I'm still that low self-confidence. And then after that, you can, of course, see if there's something you can do about the things that make you feel that way. So, of course, you can take action, and maybe, so if it's socially awkward, maybe you feel like you don't have the ability to be social. So, of course, practicing, being social, it's a good way. But first, acceptance and feeling the pain. And it's something I will not tell you when I met you first time, by the way. This is the new approach to my work. Before I would say just like, okay, go and push your comfort zone, right?
Yeah.
Yes, but that's good also. But first, the basic is accept, feel the pain, and then let's go. Now going deeper, because before, I was teaching from a place of not so me being so aware. Now I'm a little bit more aware. Maybe in 10 years I will tell you, forget that, let's do that. So it's like, so right now, today, I can tell you that, to do that.
Yeah, I think that's beautiful, because I think we were talking about. I think there's a difference between. I think you might have mentioned it in a way, but the surface level confidence, and there's inner confidence, like inner self-esteem. I think the self-acceptance and taking responsibility you're mentioning is really having the ownership of the low self-esteem, and being able to then feel that and have that awareness that that they have that low self-esteem, and they can then take the steps to work on it.
Yeah. As soon as you accept it, it's changed. It's not there anymore, or it's a little bit, but it's less. It's like if you see a shy person and they say, I'm shy and I'm okay with being shy, suddenly they are like, for you, they are like, you're not shy. No, you are shy. I am shy, but I'm okay with that. And for people, it's like, whoa, they don't really sound shy. Does it make sense?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. I think that's you raised some good points there. So
I see here, Akai. Hello, everybody.
so how crucial do you feel confidence and having the right mindset is in terms of having a good quality of life?
Can you repeat?
So how crucial do you feel confidence and having the right mindset is in terms of having a quality of life, good quality of life?
Oh, the connection between having a
Well, in terms of, let's
the
say someone wants good quality of life, how crucial do you feel
yeah.
like confidence and having the right mindset will play
Okay.
a part in
Yeah.
having that quality of life?
Well, it's I would say it's everything. Like if you go around the world feeling insecure and shy and small and like the world is very difficult. I've been there. I know exactly what it is to wake up, to not want to go out anywhere, to not want to see people, not want to face reality, to like literally hide, not wanting to create anything. My job, what the hell? Like in a million times, I will never do what I'm doing now. It will just be impossible because I was so scared and shy and insecure and low on self-esteem that I could not feel my own authority, my own power, my own. So yeah, like my life, I mean, I can't understand how beautiful it is. Sometimes I'm like, do I deserve this? Like people come to me to say things like, I love the way you teach. I love things like this. I'm like, really? Like, okay. It's hard to sometimes digest. And now I'm also in paradise, which is like freaking awesome. But like it's now it's even more because in London it was beautiful, but now come on, I'm in this beautiful island, and it's increasing the quality of life so much. Like eating fruits all day, doing acro yoga, coaching people, doing workshops. Like it's just a dream life, literally. Like I don't know what else. I live in a wonderful, beautiful place. Like it's all becoming. Oh my God! It's like, is this even possible? Wow. So it's yeah, still very many challenges. Still, it's not. It never ends. I think I don't feel like I've ticked all the boxes or anything. I'm still in my own process, increasing my self-esteem every day. Is forever. That's why when people want quick results, I'm like, no, You come to my sessions and then you have a full life to work on it. It's not like you come to my sessions and then after one session you're done. It's like, no, give you the tools, we go deeper, and once you have clarity, you go and explore the world by yourself. But there's always, 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 always way to go, you know. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's true. I think that people are after that the quick fix, like that they're gonna get cured, and then 2 or 3 months the problems will go away forever. And I know it works that way, because even if you're working with a trauma, the sensation might go down, but the trauma will still always be there, because it can always be
Yeah.
re-triggered.
Of course, yeah. Traumas are a big thing. They are part of us. It's like when you are born without a foot. You have a trauma, you live with it. It doesn't just go forever, disappear. Of course, it gets lighter and lighter if you work on it. But today I was talking about it with a friend. It's like, yeah, my traumas are still, sometimes they get triggered, you know, and for a very small thing, I go crazy, and it's like, whoa, shit. Like, I'm still highly traumatized, but then if I accept that trauma, I accept those emotions, I accept the trigger, and you go deep, and then you move on, and then you go to the next trigger, you know, and then you just kind of live in that. It's like living in a boat. You don't stop the waves, right? You just navigate them. You just try to, like, so it's the same. You have a trauma, so it's part of you, part of the wave, and you just, you know, flow with it, kind of.
Yeah, I think that's beautiful. So what would you advise someone who's struggling to overcome and let go of a past trauma experience?
That has what? Past?
So what would you advise someone who's struggling to overcome and let go of a past trauma or past experience?
Ah, okay. Oh, phew. Call me. And then, so if you don't call me, let me think. If you don't, yeah, don't try not to escape the trauma or to like avoid it or to say that you don't have it anymore if you know it's there. Like, try to be honest and real about it, and to instead of seeing as a trauma is a big problem and it's my story, I'm so attached to my trauma, because also there's a tendency where we can go into that story, oh, but I'm got a trauma, and then it's your excuse to live a shitty life. So I would say, see if you can put that trauma as part of you, part of the process, but instead of seeing the trauma as the problem you need to work on and that is ruining your life right now, to see it as an opportunity to grow, to expand, to learn more about life, to be more aware, but really to understand that it's like if you were born with dark hair, would you try to change it? Maybe some people do, but if you're like natural, you like to be natural, to be organic, to be pure and real and honest or whatever, maybe you don't need to change it. You just flow with it. You just play with it and accept it fully, because then other people can accept it, and that's how you heal it. That's how you let it be, let it exist without trying to repress it. Of course, there is breath work you can do. There is, massage. I do this tantric massage now that I help people to release trauma. There is Reiki. There is lots of things that can help you to release the traumas energetically. But yeah, if you don't have the tools or you don't have the resources for it, then at least what you can do is to welcome it fully without making making it your excuse to have a shitty life.
Yes, I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
So, in your extensive coaching experience, why do you feel that so many people are struggling to have a positive mindset nowadays?
Because it's easy. People is too lazy to make efforts these days. So I think it's easy to be miserable. I mean, the world right now, if you look at the news, you just want to die, right? So it's
Yeah.
like, it's shit. Like, there's so much shit out there. Like, it's not easy with all these emotions and then all these crazy people around, people who's close as fuck, you know, doing all this politics. I don't know, there's so much nonsense around. So it's very easy to complain and be miserable. Like, it's easy to be like, life is shit, so I'm just gonna hide. It's kind of an easy path. So yeah, I think there is maybe not enough education about it, because I was lucky that my mother told me it's easy to be I was so miserable when I was younger. I was always complaining about life, always thinking that the world was shit. Always like, I didn't like people, I didn't like myself, I didn't like anything, you know, I was just like, bleh. And I remember her telling me, it's too easy to be miserable. It's too easy. What is difficult is to smile when things are wrong, to keep going, to keep positive when things go wrong. And I remember me thinking that I didn't want to be one of those people who take the easy path. You know, I wanted to be challenged, and I wanted to. I think I was ambitious enough. But I think when you're not ambitious enough, it's because you don't know the value of it. Again, you don't know the reward of doing that. So I think it's lack of education, because if we had clarity of how much worth is to smile every day and to stay positive, I think people will do it more. Yeah. So
Yeah,
like, I would say education.
yeah, I think I agree with that point. Like people are too focused on being negative, um, and focused on, you know, allowing things in society and just being lazy and not willing to do the work to change.
Yeah. Yeah.
So next question, like, with mental health such a big topic in society right now, um, in your opinion, how could shamanic energy healing and sacred tantric techniques help overcome issues such as depression, trauma, and a blocked heart?
What was the question?
So, with mental health such a big topic in society right now, in your opinion, how could shamanic healing, sacred tantric techniques help overcome issues such as depression, trauma, and a blocked heart?
Mm. Well, there's a very big one thing that you need to um, believe when you go into work like this, like shamanic work or healing, energy healing, body work. If you don't trust, if you don't have faith, if you don't trust in something bigger than ourselves, if you don't trust in the energy that is driving us all and all the connections between all of us, that it's real, like it's touchable. So I think if you don't trust in that, it's very very difficult to even welcome this work in your body. So I will say the one thing that can help anyone first is to have faith and to believe that there is, your body can heal you. So I would say that's really the big step that a lot of people don't do, right? It's like, oh, I'm fucked, so now I can't do anything about it. But if you trust that your body will find a way to heal you and that other people can help you to heal, then that's the first step. But how it can help? Well, I can tell because I've seen that. I've experienced people releasing trauma, and your energy vibration just changes, because when you do release a big thing that is stored in your body, your vibration up completely changes. So I've seen it. I've had it in front of me where someone released trauma, and every single person around me told me, what the hell did you do to this person? what happened in that room where you were doing it, because I was living in a community, so everybody know each other, everybody see each other, and I will do the session, and suddenly this person is different, and everyone is like, what happened? Like, what have you done? Like in the retreat I did here 2 weeks ago, the same. People is like, everyone is asking me like, what have I done? And I just tell them I went to a retreat with you. And it's like your energy vibration changes forever in such a way that people can notice it. So yeah, how can help? Well, it's it's because the energy changes, and the is it answering your question?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm understanding in the sense like it's you're talking about the idea of people needing to like really live in the trauma, and then
Yeah.
the practices such as shamanic healing that can help release that energy and work on clearing up the trauma, and then changing your energy vibration from the work you're doing.
Yeah, so imagine your body is storing, right? Storing energy, is storing. So let's say the other day I had a bike accident and my bike was hurt. I have a wound. So there was a healer coming to my place to give me healing in my whole body. When he touched my foot, so much sadness and tears came out. Like, wow, fuck, like I felt so sad. Like I still can almost feel it and cry about it because it felt like my foot was like so in pain. And that was because our body is very emotional. Like we think that our physical body has nothing to do with our emotions, but we are emotions. Like we are these emotions everywhere in our body. Like if you touch me here, I don't feel the same as if you touch me here. But because we are so disconnected from our emotional system or emotional body, because we are supposed to go to work and maintain ourselves stable so that we can do the work, then we've been repressing all the emotions that we are and that we have. So the body is like, if you don't release them, it stores them in it. So when you actually help your body to release through massage or through healing, I don't know, energy healing or whatever, is you just feel lighter. It's like removing something from inside of your body that is there, heavy. And suddenly it's like, oh, okay, I feel like, So I would say that depression, it can be a habit of the mind where you just go into, going through the same thoughts over and over, and you go into this loop. So by focusing in your body, bringing yourself back to the body, can help a lot to like stop the brain. And then, so there's many different levels and ways on how this can help, and many different perspectives. But ultimately, it's because the vibration changes. And it's like, oh, now I feel completely different.
Oh, I like that. So Cosmopolitan magazine recently found that the number one reason for breakdown in relationships was communication. How important do you feel communication is in relationships, and what role does having self-esteem or confidence play in that?
Well, I would say absolutely communication is number one in relationships. Because if you don't communicate your truth, then you start again living a life that is not real, that is not you. And this is what makes you disconnect with your partner or with your relationship. Because you disconnect from you, so you disconnect from them, with that person, and then you start feeling far, far away from that person. You don't feel seen, or you don't feel that you can see this person because they're not communicating their truth, what they really are about. And then, of course, you no longer know each other, and then relationships, if you don't see me, why would I want to be around you? Like, we like people who see us. We trust people who see me, who see my deepest self. So when we are being seen by somebody, we like them, we trust them, we open more to them. So yeah, if you don't communicate your truth, then, and of course, I think self-esteem, if you don't have a strong self-esteem, what can happen is that you start hiding more and more. And if your partner also have a low self-esteem, then it's chaos, because no one can help anyone, and if both are like just smaller and smaller, kind of in this bubble of feeling insecure. And the lack of awareness of it can just really keep you there, because none of you have the courage to lift the other. So it's like, you just like both like low in self-esteem, and both like just not growing, not lifting each other up. And I think relationships, what are here for is to lift each other up to higher vibrations, to higher awareness, to higher love or truth. So if a relationship doesn't help you in that, that is actually doing the opposite to you, is making you even more quiet, more slow, like not slow, but like more insecure, then what do you want that relationship for? It just doesn't really work.
Yeah, I agree. I love that. So what do you think is the most common reason for people failing to create a life of meaning and purpose?
What is the main reason? I think the sound is bad though.
What do you think is the main reason for people failing to create a life of meaning and purpose?
Okay. Well, probably low self-esteem. Now that we're talking about it. Yeah, not low confidence, low courage, understanding of themselves, education. For me, all comes to education. There's nobody in school say, hey, it's okay if you fail 100 times. Don't worry about it. Just keep going. Nobody actually said that, at least in Spain, in the culture I come from. It's like, you need to get a job if you want to survive in the world. So make sure you listen to your boss and you do the things that your boss is telling you. It's like, that sounds so boring. Like, nobody told me, hey, until you're 40 years old, just play with life. Just fuck it up. Just travel, find your way, make mistakes, get into debt, whatever. Just go and risk it all. And when you will be 50, don't worry, you will sort everything out, because you're wise and you know what you're doing, you have experience, and now you can make things happen. Nobody told me this. It's like, so I had to like be against the world to actually find myself. And then most of people don't take that lead, or don't take that risk, because of course rejection, the fear of rejection, the fear of not being accepted in the family, or the fear of losing, or the fear of being super successful as well. That's another fear. But like, I think mainly is the fear of doing something wrong, because we already think it's wrong anyway, because society doesn't tell you to do it. So from that base of believing that we are supposed to do something else than living a life of purpose, then that's really the number one thing.
Love that. So during difficult times that we're currently experiencing, what are your best tips on how to stay motivated?
How to say?
So during difficult times that we're currently experiencing, what are your best tips on how to stay motivated during hard times?
Motivated. Well, it's one of those questions I'm like, why would you not be motivated? I mean, you have a life, you're gifted with a freaking life. You still can open your eyes and look around and smell the things. And there's so much there, but again, trust, and openness. Like this scenario that is going on right now, this big changes in the world, fear, all this. It's a massive opportunity to reinvent ourselves, to say, you know what, blank paper. I have no idea who I am. I have no idea what I'm doing. No idea what the future is going to bring. We just reborn. We're just reborning right now. You can do anything in the next year, on the next day, because it's like now is day by day. We don't actually know. Thank you for the hearts and the love. So we can do anything right now. You know what I mean? It's like there's no plan. Everything is going nuts. Everything is breaking and fading. Now is the time to recreate ourselves, to reinvent ourselves. And that's how you stay motivated. Seeing this that I'm telling you now, you cannot not be motivated because it's exciting as fuck.
Yeah, I like that. So, are there any resources that you can recommend to our viewers that can help with self-confidence and mindset and self-esteem?
Resources, yeah. I mean, there's so many things out there. Of course, you can always go into my Facebook, find some videos from years ago. I don't do many now, but before I did a lot. But there are plenty of books. Which books that I
Any
read
particular that helped you?
help me?
Yeah, that you recommend.
I mean, my first ever book was The Art of Loving by Eric Fromm. And that book, it's so beautiful. It's so connected to the heart that was a big book for me. I read when I was 19, and I always recommend it because it's a basic book, It's really giving you this, the importance of education and love. It's everything in that book, and I just loved it. So that's one book that you can read. And I mean, the best resource, as you know, it's going out in the world and be a mess. Just be a mess, really, and like talk to people. This is your best book. It's like the street is my best book. Go on the street, experience it, experience the world. That's really the best book. But I mean, yeah, there is books like I'm just remembering now the NLP book, so I'm not sure this is gonna help. Wait. I mean, there's the book of Eat That Frog, which is about motivation and how to find your way. And there is, you know what? I'm gonna tell you. Sorry, I just
That's okay.
find it.
That's okay. I mean,
Yeah.
I think you've
I
given
can
us.
tell you the names.
I think you've given us some good tips
Yeah,
there. Yeah.
less is more.
So, we know what you're good at in life. What's one thing you're not very good at in your personal life?
These are the questions I like, but I'm not very good at.
One thing.
Hello?
Yeah.
So I'm,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not
we're back.
very good. Okay. I'm not very good at details. So if you tell me, Nerea, see you tomorrow at this coffee shop at 7, unless I put my diary, there's no way I can remember that. It's like impossible. So I cannot remember birthdays. I cannot remember names or restaurants or directions. I think I live in a different world of energy. And when you go into details and practicalities, I'm like, wow, this is so much work. Like my mind is like overwhelmed, and I'm like, fuck. So when in my business, I always have to have people helping me with these things, with details, with descriptions, with words, with. I'm very good at creating things like banners or design, all the abstract stuff. Like I think I can create videos, but then videos, maybe I forget to put the title of the video because that's the detail thing, right? So all the details, I'm like, for me, it's like ghost. Like there's nothing there. like if you say, oh, this room, wow, nice painting. I'm like, oh, there's a painting there? Like, I don't see things, like, I don't see stuff. I'm like in a world of energy, but my mother was the one who told me about these paintings. Oh, you have such a beautiful painting behind you. I'm like, oh, there's a painting there, wait. I didn't even see it. It's like so funny. So I think, yeah, details is definitely not my thing. And I don't know if there's any more. Yeah, of course, there's plenty of more things I'm not good at in my personal life.
Okay. I think
Yeah, yeah, we got it. We got it.
yeah, details. So the next question, this is basically two questions. So what's next for you, and how could people reach out to you and work with you?
Hmm. So next is my coaching sessions are becoming a little more are being combined with energy work, breath work, tantric practices. So next, my next move is, for now, these 2 months coming, I'm gonna stay in Thailand, and I'm gonna be doing retreats and workshops here that are happening every week. So if you're in Thailand, of course, reach out in Koh Phangan, in an island called Koh Phangan. And then my online work is also available at the moment. And yeah, you can reach me on Facebook, Nerea Carrion with Y, or my email. You can post my email there if you want later. And yeah, I do online coaching, and I also, as I said, I combine it with energy work. And it's all about working with your emotions, working with what you are, with your traumas, and with everything you are, and really healing all of those parts that you've never really access to, maybe, or you have, but you still a lot of work to do. So be ready to feel when you come to my sessions. It's all about feeling, and I bring you back to the now, so we can work from that place of presence.
Thank you. What's one final piece of advice you give to people around self-esteem?
You're not alone.
I love that. Love that. Love that.
We
That's
are
a good
all
one.
there. We all have that. We are all there, and the answer is love. Love it. I love you for it. Can you love yourself as much as I love you? And once you love it, then life is easier.
I love that. That's good. That's a good one to end on. So thank you, Nerea, for sharing all your wisdom. We've learned so much from you today. Lots of good information, good nuggets that we can take away. And yeah, so it's been a pleasure to interview you. We wish you all the best in the future, and look forward to what's next coming up for you, and looking forward to you continue to grow and expand your coaching business. Otherwise, thanks for sharing this time with us, and we'll see you soon. And everyone else watching, we'll see you all soon.
Yeah, see you soon. Thank you so
See you.
much.